It's a pleasure being here, ladies and gentlemen. Just got in from Orlando, Florida, via Dallas, Texas, via Hawaii. So, by the way, aloha means hello, goodbye, and I love you. And I love to be around Eagles who want to make a difference. Now, I got some good news and bad news to share with you. I like to get the bad news out of the way first. First, it really breaks my heart to know that the good guys are outnumbered by the bad guys in D.C. You with me? Also bothers me the fact is when they go to represent us, supposedly, they lose their moral courage, their backbone. I often ask, why is that? I discovered something. They get this PPCS virus. You heard about it? PPCS stands for, it's all about the party, the power, control over you and I, and special interest money to get reelected. You with it? And I tell you, it really frightens me. You know, I heard them stand up here and on their stump speech, and they say, oh, I believe in the Constitution, Lou. I even believe in the Declaration of Independence. You know where it says, we hold these truths to be self-evident that all men were created equal, and we are endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights. Among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Beep. That's a pause button. I asked the question, if we're all equal, how come these guys go behind closed doors in the middle of midnight and pass legislation like Obamacare and exempt themselves from it? Does that seem fair to you? No. If we're so equal, why do we have a tax code that stands over 73,000 pages long and stands over 12 feet tall, and they pick and choose winners and losers? Does that seem fair to you? No. I don't know. We better wake up. By the way, our current tax system is a direct cause and effect of our high unemployment. Why is that? We have a 39.5% corporate rate. We're taxing people out of the country or out of business. Microsoft, 18,000 jobs. Just lost them. You know what they're doing? Firing Americans, laying them off, and hiring, for one American, 3 Indian folks. Now, when I say I was endowed by my Creator, I want you to know my Creator is my Heavenly Father. His name is God. He gave you and I these inalienable rights, right? Yet these politicians go to D.C. and they try to cram more legislation down our throat to violate our liberties, such as Common Core, to dumb our children down more. Agenda 21 to try to sell our sovereignty to other countries and to steal our property rights. NDAA to lock you up without due process. NSA, oh, by the way, where are the cameras? Hi, NSA, say hi. This is not the America I fought for. Now, there's one issue that I did not cover yet that triumphs all those combined, and that's the national debt. Thomas Jefferson saw, when he came back, the Constitution. He was not part of the ratification process. He looked at it and goes, wow, what a great document. But you forgot something. You forgot to put in there something to prevent borrowing and spending. People don't realize that our federal government right now is spending $6.8 million a minute. So if I talk fast, you'll know why. People need to understand that, first, we have to identify the problem. We recognize our system's corrupt. Our government is corrupt and it's broken. Case in point, our government has no constitutional limits on when it can borrow. You ever thought about this? What would happen when the government cannot afford to pay its bills? Let me kind of paint the picture. First, the economy collapses. Number 2, the military collapses, making us vulnerable to attacks. Number 3, entitlement checks don't come in no more. Social Security, bye-bye. Disability, bye-bye. Military retirees like myself and federal retirees, bye-bye. And of course, the biggest of them all, welfare recipients, 50 million right there alone. When you combine all those folks together, that's 100 million people looking for food and shelter. I don't know about you, but I'm a little concerned. Our life expectancy right now at this current rate is about 5 to 7 years. We're finished as a country. You with me? Ladies say, Lou, that ain't going to happen. You want to bet? It happened in Rome. It happened in Greece. It's already started happening here in America. Detroit. There's 20 other cities right now that are following suit. Bankruptcy. It's time to wake up. We are in serious trouble. Now for the good news. You want some good news? We all give you some good news. By the way, a lot of folks don't know this here, but our current state is $17 trillion in debt. $17.5 trillion. By the year 2016, we'll be over $20 trillion in debt. I wish I had a video up here to show you some cute cartoons. It kind of paints the picture. To put it in layman terms, think of it this way here. Right now, we're 17.5 trillion in debt. We have a revenue of 2.5 trillion, and interest we're paying 420 million, or I'm sorry, billion. Think about this. That's like somebody on an income of $25,000 a year with a $175,000 credit card debt, paying over $4,200 in interest. What's in store with that future for that person? That's where we're headed. That is where we're headed. Now, again, the good news. If you read on in the Declaration of Independence, it says when any government becomes destructive, it is the right of the people to alter and abolish it. You with me? Now, before we go lock and load, there are other things we can do. Our founding fathers gave us tools, okay? Two tools that I really embrace. One is nullification. Nullification is a great tool to push back the federal government. But bear in mind, that's a defensive mechanism, by the way. But remember this, the Supreme Court can overrule nullification. Article 5, in the Constitution. There's two ways to amend the Constitution, endorsed by the Founding Fathers. One is through Congress. They can do it. All they can do it, they can do it right now. They can propose an amendment right now, as we speak. Well, if you read in the Constitution, how many here got their little Constitution book with them? Okay. We can share with the rest later. The other way says the states can do it too. The Founding Fathers signed it. If you get 34 states to sign on for a balanced budget amendment, in this case, what we're doing right now, 24 states of the required 34 have already signed on. It's a battle out there. The Founding Fathers made it hard for a reason. There's a lot of propaganda out there. Those folks out there that oppose me, I call it, they got the CCS paralysis. What's that mean? The Christopher Columbus paralysis. They believe the world's still flat. It's really round. The Founding Fathers did endorse the Constitution. It's really there. Now, to understand it, how the process works is very simple. You get 34 states to pass a resolution. Single subjects, all we do. We do not do multiple ones. Single subject. You with me? And keep in mind that the Founding Fathers did this back in the 1760, what was it here? In 1770 through 1787, they did 20 of these things. They got together to tweak things. They got together and talked about one subject. They talked about slavery. The next one, they talked about commerce. Easy to do. Now, a lot of folks out there go, well, it'll be taken over by the left. No, it won't. You know why? Every state gets one vote. The state of Oregon gets one vote, just like California. I don't know about you, that's exciting. Now check this out. What's even more exciting is that the red states outnumber the blue states 2-1. You have 30 red states, 17 blue states, and 3 that are mixed up maybe. We'll bring them on. 49 out of the 50 states do have a balanced budget. We do have a great shot of making this happen, and we can have it as early as next summer. 10 more states. A lot of people, Lou, who supported this? The Founding Fathers did. President Reagan did. George Washington supported it. Abraham Lincoln. I feel pretty comfortable with that. Abraham Lincoln probably said it best. He says, I'm a firm believer in the people. If given the truth, they will be depended on to meet any national crisis. The great point is to bring them the real facts. The way I look at it is this here. Oh, by the way, I only got 20 minutes, so I got to do an hour presentation in 20 minutes, so kind of bear with me. I have a habit of getting off the track sometimes. Bear in mind is that we have 3 choices. 1, we can stick our head in the sands and do nothing. That's called consent. Number 2, we can do what my opposition says. Let's reelect better people. Well, we've been trying to do that for the last 40 years. As my good friend Herman Cain says, how's that working out for you? What's the cliche saying that if you do something over and over and over, expect different results is what? I call it political suicide. We're going to go bankrupt 5 to 7 years. Matter of fact, those that oppose us here, because of that plan to reelect better people, is why we got a $17.5 trillion debt. Number 3, the option, one I embrace. We can embrace the Constitution in its entirety. It's endorsed by the Founding Fathers. And I don't know about you, I get excited knowing the fact is that the red states control this government right now, across this process. They control the actual Article 5 process. Our website, I encourage you to check it out. It's IamAmerican.org. We're going to go on tour here in September to 6 different states. We're going to be in South Dakota. We're going to be in Wyoming, Montana, Arizona, and also Utah. So if you know any folks over there, I encourage them to go to see our presentation. It's actually 1 hour long, and we open it up for a Q&A afterwards. Anybody from those states, please see me afterwards. I have a booth over here, by the way, and a lot of great information. All the myths right there I got in writing, all the presidents, all the founding fathers. A lot of people ask me, too, Lou, is it really working? Let me give you an idea how strong it is. We went into Ohio in September. That's where, by the way, Ronald Reagan started this campaign and ended right there for a balanced budget amendment in the 80s. He got to 32 states, and it fell apart after he went out of office. The differences between now and then is that we have social media and grassroots. He didn't have that back then. We went to Ohio. We did our presentation. And keep in mind, the resolution has to pass in the House and the Senate, and that's it. No government signature required. It passed in 55 days, both houses. We go to Tennessee. You know, you get better as you go along. Tennessee, it passed in 31 days, both houses. Our greatest achievement just recently was in Louisiana. We flew in there, got the legislators to see our presentation. We passed it in 15 days. If you are pro-life, the BBA is your friend. Think of it this way here. In your backyard, a tree grows up and starts producing bad fruit. What do? Cut it down. You got it. But the problem is, we have a lot of people that are majoring in a lot of minor stuff. Now, I'm not saying stop what you're doing. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Whether it's Common Core, we'll take Common Core. We call up that tree branch. We cut that branch off. We come down and go, yeah, we did it. And 2 more pop out under a different name. Yeah. Stop going after the branches. Let's go after the tree, the root. You with me? Yeah. If you are against, God, there's so many things that a balanced budget amendment will force them to cut out of our budget. It'll dry up, okay? How do you get involved? Pretty simple. You got a smartphone? Hold it up. Hold it up, please, right now. I want you to dial this number, 53445, to get involved. 53445. When you dial that number, then I want you to go to the body and type in IAA, which means I am American. And send. You just signed up. You'll get a text from us saying we need your help in a different state, whatever it may be, don't matter. You're an American and you support a balanced budget amendment to our Constitution, we'll send you a link. We need help in this state. You hit that link, it takes you to a web email. All you type in is your name, email, and send. We literally bring down the servers at the state level. That's how big our army is. So it's encouraging.
What's the number again?
Number is 53445. I have information at my booth too there. All I can say is this. We have to do something or we're going to fall as a country. The Founding Fathers gave us the tools, the means to rein in the federal government spending. Let's begin with a balanced budget amendment. One thing I promise you, once that gets done, and by the way, we're launching our second resolution, which you just did in South Carolina with Herman Cain, to abolish the 16th Amendment and replace the tax code. Now, I don't know about you, he got pretty excited about that. That's our next one. That will fly through faster than prohibition when they see it. This could be done safely and smartly. Now, if you want more information on how the process, again, I got to get off the stage here because Trevor's going to go on here, my good friend Trevor. Great information. The Enemy Within. Love this guy. I'll be right over here. My name's Typhoon Lou. I can say this, is that I read red, white, and blue. I speak red, white, and blue. Therefore, I am an American. Thank you.
Typhoon Lou. Good job, brother.